What I really want to know,
Yeah.
what I really wanted to ask was the Purge. Can it be real ever?
No.
You know what?
That's how I
I'm-
segue it back.
I'm not gonna say it's not possible. I think people are kind of. I don't think that the majority of people would ever get on board with something like that. But I think is human nature capable of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was real, I would drink and drive.
No.
Man getting bit by an alligator screams.
Swallow this.
Welcome back to Reasonably Afraid, a podcast where three comedians talk about horror movies. Today we are talking about The Purge and the
Uncle
classic
Sam.
Uncle Sam from 1996.
Dude, let him talk.
He looked at me like he wanted me to finish the sentence, so
No,
I did it.
You did the right thing because I have it right in front of me, and then I just looked over at you and I got lost in your eyes.
Oh.
In your eyes. Our producer's back with us today. He was absent during our Patreon episode. Give it up for our producer Turner, everyone.
He was in the room. He just didn't want to be on camera.
Well, so we should let everybody know Turner recently had a run in with a coyote.
Yeah.
Turner did not back down. He
No.
ran at that coyote because he's a man.
Yeah, he was like, I got you, man.
I don't think Turner won the fight, but but he made it out alive, and honestly, pretty fine. He's got one little patch of fur. How's he doing? Sean?
He suffered from depression for a little bit, but he's good now.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, his pride was hurt more
Yeah.
than anything else, I think.
And now I think he just forgot about it. So he's back to normal. I think he is looking forward to finding another coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You
smaller
should get him
there.
one of those anti-coyote vests that got like the spikes on them.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Nice, yeah.
Pretty fucking metal, though.
Pretty metal, yeah.
That's like he finds new armor,
Mm-hmm.
leveled up.
Speaking of being the underdog, fighting the good fight. It's our 4th of July episode, everybody.
Woo!
America. Yeah. Our buddy behind us here, Johnny Ash, he's got his flag today, and he got a shirt finally. Which
Yeah.
Did you already have that laying around?
The shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was Ash for Halloween.
Oh, that's
so.
right. Yeah. So, today we're talking about the theme is 4th of July, and we're going to be talking about the not so classic film Uncle Sam.
And then we're going to deep dive into the presidential debates.
And we're going to
Are
put
we?
loaded guns in our mouth.
Yeah. That's our deep dive into the presidential debates.
Well, here we go. In honor of everything going super well,
Yeah.
we're also going to deep dive into The Purge. So we talked about it a little bit last night when we did the watch through. You can see the watch through of Uncle Sam on our Patreon.
And like half of the Purge, I think.
I don't even know if we're going to post half of The Purge. It feels wrong.
Yeah, I forgot to plug in the laptop. And I also was pretty drunk.
But also, we were watching The Purge, like, genuinely watching. We didn't have a whole lot of commentary compared to the amount of commentary on Uncle Sam.
God, it was so good, though.
Uncle Sam is a fun watch through. So on our Patreon, you can actually watch the movie with us. It has a start point and everything, so you can do a watch along. It's kind of like a hang. But if you are not a member of the Patreon, that's fine too. You can just watch Uncle Sam so you know what we're talking about. Because as far as I know, a lot of people have not seen this movie.
Go ahead and explain who Uncle Sam is.
The character, Uncle Sam?
Go ahead and do both.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into that. So, Sean, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
How much do you think the budget was for the film Uncle Sam from 1996?
Well, so there was a lot of special effects. They had a really long pair of stilts at the beginning of the movie. Uncle Sam was about 25 feet tall.
Those were tall ass stilts, dude.
Yeah. And
and also one of the films from back in the day to have a post-credit scene. They pulled a Marvel before Marvel.
Oh yeah,
The stilts guy is at the end. They had like a outtake of the stilts guy falling down.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't watch that part.
Yeah, I think you got up to pee.
Yeah.
What
Or
was
to-
the first post-credit scene?
That's a good question. I think
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I looked this up a while ago. I think it was from the 60s.
Was it?
Yeah,
Mm.
but
Yeah, if I was around back then, I probably would have been the guy to think of that. I would have made the first post-credit scene. I would have. I have a feeling I would have been like something. What if we threw something in last second?
So what do you think the budget for Uncle Sam was?
I'll go. What year was it made?
96.
No.
It had Isaac Hayes in it. It was probably the biggest name.
Yeah, well, that's what they spent most of the budget on was Isaac Hayes.
I'll go
I don't think he was that
11
expensive. Huh?
million.
11 million?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's way too high. I feel like that's high. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna go $5 million.
5 million? Okay. The budget was $2 million.
Yeah, that was,
Oh wow! Even I overshot it.
that was it.
Which $5 million for that movie? I mean, $5 million is pretty low for a 90s film, But okay, so how much do you think it made box office?
200,000. Did that even get in theaters? That's ridiculous.
That's a good
Who
question.
put that in a theater?
What do you think, Ray?
$200,000.
That's what I
People
said.
saying 200.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, 200,000 is probably right in terms of money made back because that's about how much you would make if you aired it on TV a couple of times
That makes
and then had advertising. Because I tried to look up box office numbers, I spent an hour trying to find any kind of revenue. And
Yeah.
There's no dude. That was literally one of the
There's
worst.
no way they
That's
made money.
probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was bad.
Sometimes you'll have a hard time finding the budget for a film because
Yeah.
they're not like necessarily like they release that information, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
There is no information for box office, so I don't even
Right.
think it went to theaters. I'd be interested to find out what theaters did show it. I mean,
Yeah.
presumably someone showed it somewhere.
I would investigate if that got in a theater. I would investigate that. I'd say who approved that
Who let this happen?
Yeah.
because that's some sketchy shit going on.
Yeah. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes scores are? We'll start with Sean. What do you think the critic versus audience? What do you think? The Rotten
Critic
Tomatoes-
0, audience 4.
God damn.
Critic 0. Yeah,
There are some zeros out there. There's not a lot, but there are some.
Okay, fine. Critic 5,
And
audience 6.
6.
I think the critics are like 10, and then the audience is like 20, maybe 30. I'd say the audience is probably like that more because it's like the the guys behind it had like a little cult following.
Yeah.
So like of course it like it
So
more.
so this is something that I've been finding out through the process of doing this podcast. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics don't have to be professional critics that work for like a paper or a big publication or something.
Oh, are you serious?
The
What?
critics are like, as long as you have a website or something that shows that you are like our buddy Sareth, he does like independent journalism.
Yeah.
If he wrote a movie review and then posted it there, he would be considered a critic because he has press credentials
Oh,
as someone who has like an actual thing. So the critic score is 60%.
that's so dumb. That's so
What
dumb.
the fuck?
That's so dumb, dude. That's
There's like, and if you look it up, there's like 2 or 3 legit, like big time publications
Yeah.
that gave that critiqued it. And then the audience score is 30% because that's just people posting what they think on the internet.
Mm.
So, yeah.
that does not deserve that.
Yeah.
What was the audience score again?
30%. It's literally half.
That's insane.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's a
30% is a lot.
That's
Way
way
too
too much.
It's
That was a bad film. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
sugarcoat it. Like I understand it as a fucking there's like a little bit of a fan base there for like the guys behind it, but
if it could have worked in a little more, because these are the guys
Yeah.
that made Maniac Cop.
I fucking love Maniac Cop though. That's a fun movie.
You know what? I'm gonna sugarcoat it. That was a shit film.
It was pretty bad.
So bad.
Dude,
Here's the thing, though. That movie could have been like, they could have made it funny, like a little more on the Maniac Cop vibe.
yeah.
But they were trying to capture the essence of the 80s and the 90s, and I think there's too much had changed by 90s. By the time you get to 96 and the horror craze
Yeah.
of the 80s, kind of the mid 80s kind of dying out, like,
They were too focused on that. Like, it was just like, hey, man, just make a good movie, dude.
Yeah, because Scream was made right after. Like, that's the disparity of the two kinds of horror movie coming out in that year.
I knew it was going to be a bad movie with that first opening line where it's just like, why are you scared? It's just friendly fire. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's still terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, at no point has anyone ever said that sentence in real life. Like, it's only friendly fire. What do you mean it's only There's still bullets.
It's two friends goofing around. I shot you in the face, but like as a joke.
As a joke.
We know each other.
You're taking it too serious.
Well, luckily they made it even 1 minute less than 90 minutes, so it's 89 minutes. So thankfully that was they kept it nice and short. You take out the credit scenes if you didn't watch the full credits. You got that down to a good probably 84 minutes.
84 minutes too long.
And 83 minutes 84 minutes I think is the exact amount of time that back in the day it was the films that you can make 84 minutes would fit into 2 film canisters, so you could actually save money by not making a movie any longer than that. Roger Cohen is the one who Coleman? Roger Corman. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Corn Man.
Got it.
Corn.
I didn't want to go into this like podcast shitting on movies. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But like, fucking man, dude.
Well, luckily the next movie that we're also talking about is one that
I actually really like that. I really enjoyed the Purge.
if you watch
I really don't give a shit what anybody has to say.
Ray was on a real drunk emotional roller coaster during the Patreon episode, dealing with his feelings about the Purge and the history of him and the Purge.
Well, because I remember enjoying it in the beginning, and then like by the end, like after like sitting with the movie for a little bit, I was just like, it's kind of a bad movie because there's like. The whole movie banks on, like, the dad never thinking to just start popping motherfuckers on his lawn from the, second-story window. Right. Why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
And then, like, they break into the house way too quickly for someone who had a security system that was, like, fucking locked tight. It's a lot of plot holes. It's a lot of plot holes.
I think we agreed
I
think we agreed last night, though, that it wasn't as plot hole heavy as we originally thought, because once you take into account the personality of the characters and the fact that he says these are like mental deterrents. He's like talking about the security systems as like nobody's ever tried. Like it's sold as like this thing that only rich people can afford. So why would anybody even bother? You would just go rob the people who you can get in their house easy.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So before we deep dive into those movies,
so he was robbing people. So he was basically robbing people because he was like making all the money off of the rich people, but the actual security system was mostly aesthetics.
Well, no, the security system was good,
right,
in terms of the average person. But if you had the money, like what? But rich people aren't going to attack other rich people, like that guy says in the movie. He's like, I'm not. He's like, we don't want to hurt our own kind because they see the wealthy as part of their class, and like, we don't want to hurt you guys, but we'll bring out the big toys if we need to. Whereas, like, if they wanted to go kill poor people, they don't have to do that.
What was the big toy?
Oh, it was just some trucks with chains. I mean, really, you don't.
Is that what they did?
Pretty much. I mean, they acted like they were bringing in these reinforcements. They just brought in some trucks with chains and ripped the doors off. Like, it really wasn't.
Because I was confused when they broke the window. I was like, well, couldn't they have done that?
Yeah, trucks with chains. You could do that in the Deep South. Like,
Yeah. The main bad guy, the rich kid, dude, he was great.
Yeah.
I fucking hated him. Which, you're supposed to.
Right. Yeah.
But that's what. It kind of proves he did such a good fucking job.
Yeah, because he's so hateable.
Oh, I can't stand you. The entitlement.
This should be obvious, but spoilers, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
It's a movie podcast. So let's start with Sean. Sean, what do you think the budget for The Purge was? The very first Purge movie.
Didn't you? I remember you saying it was cheap. $5 million.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna say $5,050,000.
Nice. Yeah.
Fuck you. Gonna fucking do the Price is Right move over here.
Now, if I hadn't already, I did let that slip out last night. I should have done that, but
I don't remember.
But
I do.
If you didn't know that though, and you just watch the look of that film and see everything they did, It feels like they spent a little more. I mean, it feels like, I don't know, I'd probably guess around like 15-20 million, it feels like, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
good quality.
The biggest, I would say, like, most of the budget probably went to, like, what, Ethan Hawke and the house itself.
Well, surprisingly, Ethan Hawke basically did the movie for nearly scale because he was friends with the guys from Blumhouse. So
yeah.
He was actually willing to do it for super cheap so they could get made because he really liked the project and he liked it, and he's friends with the production company. So
I have this love-hate relationship with this series because I love the premise of it, and I do think that there is like an opportunity to make like a movie of substance out of that, but fuck it, my God, all of them outside of that have been like there's 2 I haven't seen, I think, but like the ones that I have seen are just awful.
Like most movies with a good premise, that people tend to try and ride it for another,
Yeah, the second one goes overtly racist.
Yeah.
Because it's just like so anti-racist, it's racist.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
how?
I don't know.
No, actually, that's not what we're talking about.
It's trying to make too much of a message, and then like it ends up just being just as racist.
All right, so the budget was actually $3 million. $3 million. Now that's
nothing.
That's crazy, and it's also $3 million in.
I was right.
It's $3 million in 2013. They spent $1 million more. It's in terms of movie making money, like, I mean, it's basically like they spent almost the same amount of money as Uncle Sam, and it's infinitely better.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, so much better.
Unbelievably better. Like, and no offense to all the people that worked very hard on that film to get it done, get it made, but like,
yeah, keep that to yourself.
I did forget how political that first one was, because the second one gets, like, the message gets way more heavy-handed as the movies go on.
Yeah.
So, like, I just kind of forgot how, deep they were really getting in there.
Well, the writer-director originally had said, James DeMonico, he said that they were actually trying to get him to tone it down so much, and the first one is a little more subtle, which is probably part of what makes it really good. But I think because they spent so long trying to get him to not do that stuff in the first one, once it made its box office, they were like, okay, be as heavy-handed as you want, and then they went,
Yeah, and then it got worse.
Over the top.
They should have continued to hawk him. Ethan Hawke him.
Hawk to him. Topical. Not by the time this comes out, but anyway. So, what do you think the box office was, Sean?
You just said it made so much money, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not a number.
20 million.
20 million? Okay.
I think it made 100 million.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Now,
Purges were pretty big, dude.
Oh, yeah.
89 million.
Ooh, close.
I mean, that's a hell of a turnover, dude.
That is fucking crazy.
$3 million and they made almost 90 million. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Is this the movie that like set Blumhouse off?
I would say.
What did they do before this one?
Man, I had it written down somewhere, but yeah, they had just done a couple of different movies. Because they were still considered a smaller production company at that time.
Yeah,
but this was one of their. Or not independent. I don't know if they were considered independent. It was one of their smaller productions that helped build their reputation, though.
Yeah, because like now they're fucking huge, dude. Blumhouse is big.
Yeah, I mean they were coming off a couple of successful movies, and stuff that they were able to do for like fairly small amounts of money, considering the time period of 10 years ago. So those are the. Oh yeah, one more thing we got to do.
2013 was 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even. It's 11.
That's a good fact.
That's a good fact. Okay, so let's do the Rotten Tomato scores, and then we'll jump in.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Critics, 77.
77.
Okay.
Audience, 68.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna say audience 80, and then critics 65. I think audiences loved it more, considering how much money it made.
Yeah.
Taking into account.
Fair. So this is a testament to why Rotten Tomatoes is fucking dumb, and no one should ever care about any of this.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this for a while now, and people get like, oh, when you gonna fucking... Basically, any movie made before 1960, they give like a 90% and up.
Yeah.
Just because it's old.
Oh, does this have a bad score? Like way under? Like
it's you know what? It's offensive.
Is it? Like,
I'm offended. I am offended by this as an American.
Yeah.
On this 4th of July holiday, to give The Purge this score is fucking communist.
Oh,
I really like The Purge.
why?
Hit it.
Critic score 41%.
Jesus
Whoa.
fucking Christ, dude! It's not that bad.
No. And then the audience score is 36%.
That's bullshit.
The audience rated.
There's no way like a movie that made $89 million is not at the very least a 60%.
The audience rated Uncle Sam nearly double.
Yeah. What the fuck?
The audience would have been the audience was close to the same. Which is
The audience was 30%.
The critic score was doubled.
Oh,
Which is fucking nuts.
which is actually kind of dumb.
Yeah, but also this is another thing that you got to take into account with all this kind of
Rotten
fucking
Tomatoes.
nonsense.
You're the one pushing your Rotten Tomato agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
nobody should ever care about Rotten Tomatoes. Every week, what are the Rotten Tomatoes?
well, it's first of all, eat shit,
What a
Sean.
fucking
Okay?
critique.
Yeah, don't fucking critique me. Fuck you.
Nobody should give a shit about this, but this is the first thing I'm going to ask you
All
guys.
right. Well, all right. Here, I don't think people should care, but it's a fun game to go like, well, what is it? No, but here's a big difference, right? So Uncle Sam has 10 critic reviews and 1,000+ audience scores. So
Sample size.
1,000. Yeah, exactly. There's 158 critic reviews and 55,000+ audience
Holy
reviews
shit.
on The Purge.
Yeah, 55,000 people who fucking suck.
I am if more people knew Uncle Sam doesn't have a box office number.
Yeah.
If people knew that Uncle Sam was a movie, it would have a fucking a 2 and a 3 rating or some shit. So
Yeah.
I would say y'all's initial gut feeling about that was more correct than
Man,
than would let
Maybe
on.
one day we'll make an episode where we do the whole series. I think that'd be fun.
It would also be fun to do like a franchise versus a franchise. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. I like that too.
Yeah, do a little-
McDonald's versus Burger
Yeah.
King.
That way we don't have to like deep dive into like specifics of scenes and stuff, but it would be more like the overall like who fucked up their 12 movie journey more over 40 years.
Yeah.
What else is what's the long 12 movies?
Halloween's definitely the longest.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Friday the 13th is right behind them because
because they got like what? There's like
they started 2 years after and
11, 12 movies.
Yeah, but Halloween's made more and for longer.
Yeah.
So
Give us a little something. Quick, right now you have to pick one. Which series is better? For Friday the 13th or Halloween?
ooh, that's tough because they're both such trash after certain numbers, but they both have cool little things they slip in.
If you could only have
I
one
say Halloween.
series in your life, Halloween.
So I would say
Just solely based on the fact that like John Carpenter's attached to it.
So John Carpenter is he did do the bookends, right? He did the first one, and I think he was involved in the second one too. I don't know if he directed it, but he did the
last few.
the new ones are supposed to be a direct sequel to the first two, and ignores all the other Halloween movies.
As it should.
Well, because the third one doesn't even have Michael Myers in it. They were trying to do like a Tales from the Crypt style thing where they were going Halloween is like an anthology series. Which you can't do after 2. You can do that after 1.
Yeah,
you can't put out 2 movies and be like, now the third one and the guy's not in it. If they had done one Halloween and then said, now Halloween's about this other thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I hear you.
Well, you created a fucking a cultural icon.
Right, but they weren't really aware of that yet.
Yeah,
but,
I hear you.
And yet they were because they said the iconic classic in Halloween 3, I watched it the other night. Halloween 3, they actually show the movie Halloween because they own the rights to it. So they show the movie Halloween on the TV in Halloween 3.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about, Sean?
No, I hear you. It's just like leave it to Zach to form a yap session instead of answering. the damn. I said one word. Which one's better? And this guy is going on about anthology. This Halloween John Carpenter. That
Dude, Sean's coming for you today.
Dude, Sean is my literal. Sean is my literal karma from my last podcast. I was Sean.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast called The Average Joe Movie Show. I didn't watch any of the movies. You do more than I did. I watched almost none of the movies, or if I did, I was like on my phone the whole time. And I was just like, and then I wouldn't do any of the research, and I'd come in, and my buddy Matt would do he'd have all the information, and his co-host Andrew, they'd know everything, and I'd be like, what if they all hit each other in the dick really hard?
Boy, that's actually a good point. No matter what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
What if they did?
Yeah, Sean's like my living karma. Is what it feels like. He's my podcast karma. I do. I was such a dick. I created a whole series called "What's New with John Woo" because I thought it sounded funny, and there's never anything new with John Woo.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Who's John Woo?
He directed Face Off.
Oh, and he's not doing anything else.
And Mission Impossible 2. Well, he's very old now.
Yeah.
But every now and then there would be What's New with John Woo segments. And then we did a live show one time with a live audience. And I said, What's New with John Woo? And people went apeshit. They were like, yeah. And I was like, people love What's New with John Woo. Fuck you. But apparently I was derailing the podcast with all my jokes all the time. And then I went back recently and listened to some, and I absolutely did. And that's why I have you two here.
Sometimes you got to derail it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it's what makes it fun, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I asked a simple question. I guess we don't have to. We're going to go with Halloween's better.
I like the no, I'm going to give you an answer. I like the vibe of Halloween better personally. But if you were to say which one does better as a series, I would say that if you were to count all the movies together and go like which one does a better job of conveying a thing, Friday the 13th is definitely more of a consistent thing. Jason Voorhees is always Jason Voorhees. The only switch is his mom's the killer in the first one, and then all the rest is Jason. So there really isn't that much of a difference of vibe. It's just quality changes throughout. Halloween, number 3 doesn't even have minutes. It's a totally different plot point. They completely... You okay, bud?
He saw a fly.
Oh,
Our
God.
producer's trying to eat a fly. I think he got it. Oh, shit. Did you get him?
I don't think.
Our producer just ate a bug.
I don't think he's ever gotten one.
That's amazing.
Oh, but he's going to act like he's going to get it.
Okay. But yeah, Halloween...
I swear to God, if you hit that camera, Turner.
Oh, we should save this for when we do this.
Yeah, let's show. Okay.
Save it for Halloween.
I asked one simple question. I just wanted to know real quick.
Did you ask about something I'm passionate about and surprised you get an answer?
You're right.
Well, also this podcast is about the Purge and Uncle Sam. We started talking about Halloween versus.
All right, let's focus back.
I give him the chance
derailing.
to have the spotlight, and he talks up about a different fucking series.
Stop derailing the damn podcast.
Cut all this out.
Listen, what I really want to know, what I really wanted to ask was the Purge. Can it be real ever?
No.
You know what?
That's how I segue it back.
I'm not gonna say it's not possible. I think people are kind of. I don't think that the majority of people would ever get on board with something like that. But I think is human nature capable of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was real, I would drink and drive.
No.
I would just go to Taco Bell fucked up in the drive-thru, and I hope they're not closed during the Purge. Because
They're definitely going to be closed during the Purge.
Hello? And then I just get like shot.
And then Sean just falls asleep in a drive-thru and wakes up the next morning with dead people around him. People just dying on the sidewalk.
Dude, what happened? Last night was a movie. And it was called The Purge, starring Ethan Hawke.
I'd commit tax fraud.
That'd be, dude, just do your taxes on Purge night.
You guys can't audit me. This was done on Purge night. This is all legal.
Yeah, that'd be funny to find out how many people, like, the whole premise is like we all have this killer in us or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's not true, right?
Yeah.
Like it would be funny to like have that premise happen in real life, and they're like everything's legal, even murder, and most people are like, Jesus Christ, I just want to not get like I don't want to go to jail for not paying my PPP loan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. It's because it's like everything's legal and everyone goes straight to murder.
Yeah.
I don't think most people would probably not go straight to murder. Most people,
I think
People
maybe the
just
first
need
year.
stuff.
They,
Yeah.
some
The
people,
first year.
some people try and they're like, "Oh, that is not for me." That was wow.
The first purge is the one purge that has the most murder, and then everybody was just like, "We've had enough of this. We've destroyed our own lives."
You wake up in the middle. Oh my god! I just saw him again. The guy I killed. Like, oh fuck it! I'm never purging again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if the purge is real, most people are like, I'm gonna go get a TV. Like,
Yeah.
like
Ooh.
people just go like rob places.
Yeah.
I think most people don't have a deep embedded urge to kill. I think that
Yeah, it overestimates how many like psychopaths are in our society. Like, there's probably a lot, sure, but like, not that much.
yeah, and most of them wouldn't do it just for practical reasons. Like the people who genuinely don't feel anything about human life, they're just like, oh, it'd be a huge inconvenience to deal with the repercussions of murdering someone.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Sean.
No, I was gonna think about purge again. Just be like, I think I would probably not pay full price for things, but like I'd steal it, but then I'd like leave a tip because like I don't want to. If they're working on a purge night, oh, it sucks, dude. Imagine that.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah,
there's no way his face is on camera right now. He's literally sunk into the couch.
Look
The
at
mic's
that.
in
No,
his
it's not
face.
good.
It's on, dude. Don't give me that.
Under his
Okay,
face.
dude. You're lucky it's not
This
purge.
one's good.
You're lucky it's not purge night, bro. you keep talking shit, dude. Whoa. Let's get the new founding fathers in here. Imagine the first guy bringing up the fucking dude. Just for 12 hours.
Yeah, and then everybody else is like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh yeah, that's the scene that movie needed was the guy trying to pitch the purge to everybody.
Yeah, and he's like, "What if everything was legal?" And people are like, "Oh yeah, you could go rob like a store or like." And the guy's like, "Yeah, you could maybe murder your boss." What'd you say?
That was so funny. Okay? At the beginning of the movie, they're like, "What are you gonna do on purge night?" One lady was like, "I'm gonna stay home," and then the next guy's like, "I'm gonna kill my boss."
It was like, why are you announcing that, dude?
On talk radio.
He's gonna prepare now.
There is an element of genius to it though, to where like the normalizing of violence. Like it's kind of like forcing everybody to look into the mirror. Dude, his nails
are so long.
Well, he literally was scheduled for a grooming the day after the coyote attacked him, and so like he was not gonna go get it trimmed. I got to reschedule it.
Our producer needs nails clipped.
He does.
I love talking about him because I love the idea that somebody tunes in just for Turner. I love the idea that somebody just like clicks on it and like doesn't watch the whole thing, and they're just like, "Who is this producer?" Like they think it's a person.
Yeah.
He's fighting coyotes. He's got these crazy long nails.
Yeah.
He's eating flies. This guy's a lunatic.
He's a little eccentric.
So the idea for the purge, actually, do you guys know this story about how he conceptualized it? Like how he started? So the guy, the writer director, James DeMonico, actually was on the Brooklyn Bridge with his wife, and he got into a road rage incident where like this guy cut him off, and they were like yelling at each other. And the guy hopped out of his car, and they got into a fight.
Yeah.
And then when it was all over, his wife was just like, "Wouldn't it be nice just one a year? You just get one." And he's like, he actually said later he felt bad about telling that story. He's like, because she's such a sweet person, and she would never do that to anybody. But like in the moment when you're upset, and I think that's something where you could go like, oh, if there was a real purge, if it wasn't like for the next 12 hours, if it was like you get one murder a year.
Yeah. I feel like something would have to happen like the day before that I'm still angry, because like you're gonna hold on to that like all year, that anger.
Yeah,
so you get the chance.
If you do
that's
that,
crazy.
Unless it was something super egregious, most people, the minute the adrenaline or whatever leaves your body, you're like, oh, all right, maybe I overreacted.
I would never purge.
I'd commit.
Better than you guys.
I think I'd just do drugs. Just do drugs.
Yeah.
Because everything's legal, so
I feel like I do that anyways.
Yeah.
We don't need Purge. I guess.
I don't need the Purge to do drugs.
If you illegally pirated as many movies as possible in a 12-hour period,
Ooh, how does that work?
and then you watch them later, technically you only broke the law during that period.
Yeah.
Keeping them after,
Is that how it works?
I don't know. Yeah, see, this
Zach's,
is where
Zach's Purge would be making copywritten T-shirts and selling them, mass producing
Yeah.
copywritten material.
everybody's waiting for my flash sale every year.
Yeah.
I'm just a Chinese street market.
You can't sue me. It's the Purge.
I promise they're Prada. Those don't look like Dolce and Gabbana. So yeah, that's the initial premise though. Is like I kind of love that, like just the idea that this nice lady, knowing that this incident happened, she's like, just one a year, just let them.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically the entire, position of like all the movies of like, oh, these are sweet people until this day.
Yeah. Well, and the movie is really a warning about fascism,
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's pretty clear, like the group who talks about the founding fathers a lot, whether or not that actually correlates to the true beliefs and backgrounds of the actual founding fathers. They say the new founding fathers. It's pretty clear reference to ultra right wing
Christian nationalism.
Yeah,
especially the way the main bad guy was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like he almost like had this like sense of like, oh no, I'm divine because I'm able to purge.
Right.
You know, I'm purging myself and it makes me more closer to God and like, that whole like sentiment. So it was very Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
And that they kind of drilled that more like deeper. Like at some point in the movies, like in the series, there's government entities that during the purge go around and just start killing like the homeless and poor people and shit. Which is
really?
like, yeah, because everything's legal. So it's just like, yeah, this is legal for the government to do.
Well, and part of the process of coming up with this concept also had to do with the rising homeless crisis going on, and part of working that into the script wasn't just the initial concept is like what if you could get your get back once a year or whatever, but also like the unfeeling, uncaring nature of the way we treat the homeless and everything, because we hear comedians joke about it, we've heard other people joke about, oh, well, what if you just kill them, like people say some pretty wild shit, and most of it's in jest, but you could tell that to a sociopath, cleansing, all that stuff, like that all comes out of like because this film is supposed to take place in 2022, and there's like been this ultra right wing Christian nationalist takeover.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in 2024 right now, and I obviously the Purge would be an extreme version of that, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on that makes you go like, hey, maybe you guys are overreacting to some stuff. Maybe you could chill a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's a great movie though.
But you know what? Look at all this dialogue that came from it. It does suck a little bit, and I know you said the second movie explores the outside world more, and it's worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it does suck that it was just centered in their home. Like it was just the whole movie took place in the house a little bit.
Yeah, you really want to see the chaos of the Purge like explode.
Yeah.
But like the second movie, it does explore it. But it's not what you expect it to be. You kind of like you're kind of like expecting riots and like chaos, and like instead it's like the streets are quiet and then people just happen to stumble in the wrong alleyways and shit.
Well, I think this is where they were smart about this though. So the other film, Uncle Sam, spent $2 million trying to do as much as possible, but you're spreading that $2 million around in a way that it is not making the best quality thing.
Right.
But you're able to do a lot of different things, right?
Right.
So it's quality versus quantity, right?
Right.
So
they opened up the space, and so opening up that space,
right,
putting it in the town, like that creates a higher budget.
Right, exactly. And when you shoot in that small space, you're able to pay the actors you get better quality actors, presumably. No offense,
Mm-hmm.
but you're able to get like high quality cinematographers, lighting, camera work, like everybody working on the film really, like the writer-director is the guy who came up with the concept. He really cares about this. It's a passion project.
Right.
Something he'd been working on for like 10 years, like developing this concept. Like this is
The Purge.
Yeah, like I mean,
For
going
10
through,
years, he's been developing the concept of the Purge, trying to get it passed into Congress.
It's more than a movie.
Yeah, somebody's like,
It's
"Is
a
this
passion project.
Yeah, some senators like, this is a horrible idea for something to work into the budget for this year. Would you want to make it a movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
okay.
it was a movie this whole time.
No, it's been a movie. It's been a movie.
Yeah. So it is interesting though what you said about the riots and stuff, and like, so they imply a lot of stuff without having to show it, which is also pretty smart.
Yeah.
Where like they use some footage they shot themselves in the beginning of where they're showing like the Purge cameras, right? Where like they show on national television where you can like sit home and watch people like kill each other and stuff. When they show that stuff in the beginning of the film, they're showing all these different like CCTV footage type things.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff they shot, and some of that's real world footage. Like,
Yeah.
Like one of
Such a good use of it, though. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like they really did well on that.
they used a great example. Fucking ice machine.
Oh, I forgot to turn it off. I'll go turn it off.
Okay.
Get to hear that.
Wait a second. For
This never. You can. It's up to you, Zach. I'm gonna let you decide that.
So yeah, one of the things that was really interesting was in the beginning of the movie when they're showing all that different footage. It's a mix of stuff they shot themselves and then like the LA riots, like it's real world violence. So they're showing there is the capability of these moments of like kind of unhinged like lashing out. This idea of like true human nature when like lawlessness occurs, right? Which is funny because in the movie they're like, oh, this is legal.
Yeah.
It's got a very different tone to it, but they use that footage because it has the same feel as this real world violence that happened.
I'm surprised you don't ever see anyone eat someone in those movies.
Oh, they probably. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
What's the cannibalism? That'll probably take until what are they at now? 5 movies?
5 movies, yeah.
Yeah. So they're right around 6. That's when you start eating people.
Mm.
7's time travel.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, they got to go back in time and
Yeah.
well, I mean, they kind of, I guess because like they do the first Purge.
Yeah.
That one's a movie, the first Purge.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. Okay. So, quick little fun tidbit. The writer director also was very always like enamored with the Manson family and those Manson murders,
Mhm.
Charles Manson. So he actually modeled the crazies that are outside trying to come in and kill the family. He had them actually like wear things that were sort of
Similar.
symbolic of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the like white gowns that the women are wearing,
yeah,
those were like what the Manson girls were, or supposed to be similar to it.
yeah, that makes sense.
Whoa.
I could see that.
Yeah, because it really is. It's a cult, right? It's a cultish way of thinking. They had the little prayer they do around them, the family, when they were gonna kill them and everything.
Mhm.
So,
Well, yeah.
and one little fun extra thing was you said the thing about the Christian nationalism thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually at the beginning and end of each Purge, there's 7 sirens that go off.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there, if you've ever read the Revelations, the most fun part of the Bible, pretty fucking metal. Jesus rides.
Some would say the Purge of the Bible.
Dude, if you think if somebody made Revelations a movie, it'd be pretty wild. Not like a super biblical one, but there's a part where Jesus comes on a flying horse that shoots swords out of his mouth. Like
That's fucking sick.
yeah, it's pretty metal. So anyway, when you read that there's the 7 bowls pour out and the 7 trumpets play, like that's the kickoff of like the end of the world is like, or at least Jesus' return to fight the Antichrist and all
Dude,
that.
and like that like the beginning sirens to the Purge, iconic.
Yeah,
Iconic. As soon as I hear it, I know exactly what I'm like, oh shit.
and he the sound he told the sound director to model it similar to the sound from what is the movie the Close Encounters of the Third Kind with the little like
Yeah.
like air horn like giant broom, broom. it's supposed to be like a distressing kind of noise.
Yeah. Oh
So-
God, I'm so happy we're doing this. I have so much to say about the Purge.
What about Uncle Sam? I'm sorry. That is,
Yeah.
I just realized.
You
I just
interrupted the
realized-
shit out of
No,
me,
I
dude.
just-
You're
I just-
like, we're like, what about the other movie?
No, it's just because I just
Bro.
remembered there was another movie.
Yeah. Well, because who fucking cares?
Well, we'll end on Uncle Sam because there's so much fun stuff to make fun of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, there's that as much as that movie is not great, it's so funny for like
Yeah.
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know, like
But-
we had a lot of really good laughs
Yeah, we did.
at their expense, but for sure some good laughs.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Talk about the things you want to talk about. On the
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to.
So the Purge is one of the IPs that Universal uses a fuck ton for Halloween Horror Nights. They've done like at least like 5 or 6 Purge houses, like at least like one for every movie. Almost every other year they were for Hollywood they were doing the Purge for the Terror Tram, and it was just they would just drop you off in the middle of the Purge.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. It's such a it's so like it's used a lot, and I think it's mainly because it's accessible.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like most of the villains in the Purge are normal people.
True.
So it's like it's easy for them to do because like it's just just put them in just tattered clothing and like give them a couple masks and stuff.
Yeah, it's not like super expensive effects.
It's
or
not super
anything.
expensive effects. You know, the idea is just like they're normal people like murdering each other and stuff like that. And I remember when we first moved to Los Angeles, the one they were doing was the Forever Purge, and it was the Terror Tram. So they drop you off in the middle of the Forever Purge. And the last movie takes place in Texas. And so, like, it's just a bunch of white nationalists who are, like, trying to make the Purge spill over for political reasons, just to kill minorities. And so the entire thing is just, like, guys dressed in, like, cowboy outfits, construction workers and shit.
The fucking village people.
Yeah. It's what it was. It was, like, middle America working class. And so I just remember being super high in the middle of this, like, in Los Angeles, like, in their Purge, and thinking, wow, like, liberals are just afraid of middle America. It's just what it is, dude.
Yeah.
We're just scared of, like, fucking Texans.
Well, it is a good. It is also a good
We're
metaphor.
like, no, they're voting Republican.
It is also a good metaphor though for the whole thing about like, what did LBJ say? Like where he said, if you can convince the poorest white man that he's better
Oh, yeah.
than what's that lingo? Than the poorest black man, then you can put your hand in his pocket and you won't even notice.
Yeah.
So like riling up the working class
yeah.
to like turn on people they view as others,
Right.
and then you get to keep making all the money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there's something to that, where
Yeah.
it's like what are people like afraid of, like in Los Angeles? Is like the rest of the country falling to shit because it's like this state filled with like moderates and liberals.
yeah.
So like a lot of people are just kind of afraid of the working class racist,
Or even what they might perceive to be that
yeah,
might not be in some cases or whatever. But like,
yeah,
I think a lot of people, watch horror movies and go like a Purge would be a good example where they go like, oh, well, it's gotten so political or whatever, and they're doing it in that way to where like what they're trying to say is I'm not comfortable with the liberalness of this thing, or I'm not comfortable with the idea that I have to think about anything political while I'm watching a movie.
I don't want to have to reflect on myself.
Right. But the truth is that horror has always been political. Even
Uncle Sam.
Yeah. I mean, even as bad as Uncle Sam is, it's it's got some
politics are scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Politics, politicians are scary. The idea of politics is scary. Like it's like it runs like our lives, So like horror draws from what we're afraid of. So
well, that's what I said to my buddy
it's gonna
today.
get political.
Yeah, that's why I end capped the conversation with my buddy today, who was arguing about the debates and everything, and I just said, politics is nuanced and people often aren't. So
Right.
I guess we'll all just burn together. Dude, he's fucking wild today, dude. Turner's on some.
Wait.
He's getting his confidence back a little bit.
Well, let me just say, the Purge it's a policy, it makes crime legal, so it's an inherently political idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta talk
There's no
politics.
way. Yeah, there's no way to like get around that. Like it's yeah.
They don't address whether it was bipartisan support. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny. They all just agree on it. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give it a shot.
Well, in the modern context, it definitely would seem as though something happened to where it's turned a little more hardcore fascist.
Yeah.
So the idea of partisan, bipartisan kind of goes out the window, and it just becomes like nobody was like, who's the other party in 1920s Italy? You know what I mean? Like
Joe Biden was like, I promise if I get elected, I'm gonna repeal the purge. And then he's just like, we couldn't do it. I'm sorry. We're gonna keep purging.
I like the idea of just like they legalize the purge, or like, yeah, everything's legal, and then someone's like, including abortion, and they're like, nah, well, we'll actually
yeah. Hey, murder's legal. Do not get an abortion. That's pretty funny.
Well, that's because they haven't, like, a fetus can't officially consent to the purge. I think that's where the issue is.
I don't think anyone's consenting to the purge.
Yeah, consent to the purge in itself is an oxymoron in this case, right?
Yeah.
You can't kill people who aren't American citizens during the purge.
No, you can.
Oh, I don't think the people who came up with the purge concept are like, hey, leave those people who aren't citizens alone. You can't travel abroad.
No,
in country.
Yeah,
it has to be in country. Yeah,
in country.
There are like references in the other movies about how people from outside the country come to America during the purge, so the tourism goes up because people are just showing up because they want to kill people.
Yeah,
which would happen,
No, that's true.
If you cross the border, you can fucking get it, Playboy. That's what their motto is.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if anything, integration might get worse because then you actually have killers showing up. Also, just like
out of context, that was super Trumpy sounding.
A little bit.
They're not sending their best and brightest during the purge.
They're bringing criminals.
Yeah, well, during the purge, there would be criminals.
Hey,
also,
Hey, come on.
You're not an illegal alien on the purge.
No, you're just here.
You're just here.
Yeah, because it's not against the law.
You gotta immigrate during the purge, dude. If you can survive that night, you're a fucking citizen.
Ooh, that would be a good.
Yeah,
that would be a good little twist on it.
Yeah,
yeah. They're like the whole like hunting humans element to it.
Yeah, if you can get on the other side of that fence, and you survive that 12 hours, you're good.
Yeah, I feel like we might lose a couple of people after this episode, and if that's the case, get fucked. Bye.
Oh, are we losing? What are we losing?
Oh, just somebody really, it's too political. Hey, see you in the camps. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like get fucked. Go watch another review of some fucking regular movie, and there's no actual discussion of the subtext.
Yeah.
Like, well, they used the 32 millimeter to shut the fuck up. We're talking about how we feel about stuff. So if you don't like that, you can get fucked.
Great movie, though.
Yeah, great movie.
Uncle Sam.
Dude, I like how much you've been waiting to get into Uncle Sam. He's like, I've been
distracted.
Oh, clip it.
Dude, you're lucky the purge isn't real.
Oh, I can't wait for the purge so I can kill my dog.
Turner's on the purge just hunting.
I just cold talk radio. I'm probably gonna kill my dog tonight.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't even fucking know.
Nah, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
He's been licking my face.
I'm not gonna do that. He'd probably kill me.
Yeah, dude. He fought a coyote. You don't think he could take you?
Probably, dude. If I came at him, he wouldn't back down. So we have mutual respect.
You don't attack each other just based out of like mutual destruction.
I
It'd be
just want
the
to say
end of
though,
most
This is gonna be a clip. Sean gets into it with the producer.
you pay me more. I wanted to talk about Uncle Sam for the longest time because, oh my God, I just need. And go ahead and put a picture up right now of this child. Fucking piece of shit. I hated that kid. I've never wanted to punch a child. in the
That kid
face.
was a fucking sociopath.
Oh my
dude.
God.
The kid, wait, the burned kid in the wheelchair with the glasses, or the
he
main
was just as
character?
bad.
kid?
No, but the main
He
one.
was
The main
just as
character,
bad.
yeah.
Nah, because he was all like, "Whoa, what was he? What did he say? Oh yeah, he said, she said, oh, he wasn't a hero. He just wanted to kill people, or something. What did he say? And then the kid was like, oh, isn't that what heroes do?
It's like, no. It's like, that's exactly what they don't do.
Yeah.
Hold on, roll that clip. I want to hear that exact line. All right, so I was a little off, but the point is that kid is a freaking weirdo.
Yeah, that kid had so much ROTC energy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
So much.
He would have been top of his class.
Dude, wait till Ray throws you a bone and actually puts the clip in. You're gonna lose your mind.
Dude,
Yeah.
That'd be so nice, dude. Oh my God. That'd be better than the Purge.
Yeah, that kid though. I mean, it was perfect for the message they were trying to convey. You know, they're basically showing an 11-year-old boy and his kind of reaction to the culture of what he sees.
Yeah.
You know, of like, and again, this
Of
goes
like
back
normalizing the violence and
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of those lines like, oh no, this kid's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But he does redeem himself in the end, right?
Why? Because he manipulated Uncle Sam into walking out of the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like that was redeemed. Like he had, I mean, the Uncle Sam had to die. He's a fucking zombie. But
Who
like,
killed like 8 people?
sure, yeah, but like the line the kid said before that Sean brought up, where he's just like, "Isn't that what heroes do?" It's like, no, he enjoyed manipulating Uncle Sam and getting him killed. It wasn't about saving.
No,
people for
also
that
you're
kid.
wrong, Zach, and I don't know if Ray's right for the right reasons, but there's an end of the film where the kid gives a little look, and then the screen shatters, and you're like, oh, he's gonna
be Uncle Sam.
Yeah, he's gonna commit war crimes.
He's gonna commit war crimes.
Yeah. So they wanted to make a sequel, and then the
Yeah.
box office numbers never came out.
Yeah.
They were like,
They kept calling the box office. They were like, "Hey, are our numbers there?" They were like, "You made a movie?
What?
yeah.
Who is this?
The opposite.
Why you keep calling us?"
The opposite reaction to the Purge, like the Blumhouse and Universal were like, okay, you made us $86 million on top of your budget. Go ahead, good job. And then this one, they're like, how much money did they make? They're like, negative everything.
Never give the money again.
Yeah.
We did it for the love of the game. It was a passion project.
Yeah, it's not a good sign to go, how many VHS copies did we sell?
Dude, it was whack. The kid also had a line where he said, she was like, because he was mad that this guy was a draft dodger and became a cop instead, or a teacher or something. I don't know. And then he was like, I'm going up to my room. I'm not hungry. And then his mom was like, oh, you're gonna watch TV? And he was like, watch TV? I'm in mourning.
Yeah.
He's
What
like-
fucking 8-year-old says that?
Well, go ahead and roll that clip. You think a child is saying that? He was such a nerd. Oh my God!
Yeah, the concept that he would be well, and then what did he go do? He went and played with his army men, and he's like. So, I feel like this movie isn't the standard for what we usually talk about. A lot of times, so far we've talked about like 2 pretty well-known films and their remakes. In this case, we're talking about 2 different films.
Yeah.
One of them, I think most people understand the concept of the Purge. All crime is legal for 12 hours.
Very easy.
Uncle Sam,
concept.
people don't really know. Sean,
In 8 sentences or less, can you describe Uncle Sam?
I wanted to see.
Oh, me
That's
do it.
2 paragraphs.
So Sean was pretty horned up
Oh, I was.
during the process of watching.
Yeah,
watching the movies last night.
hormones were flying.
So I wanted to know your take on Uncle Sam. If you had to describe Uncle Sam to somebody,
Yeah.
not to get them to watch it necessarily. If they were just like, "Oh, what was
describe
that?
it.
What was that movie about?"
So it starts off very horny.
Yeah,
or was that? Yeah. So
It opens on a
it opens up
murdering the friendly
fully
fire.
erect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
fully erect. No, it was it starts off with Uncle Sam showing up, killing some Americans, as he does, and you don't really get, you're like, what's going on? Who is this guy? Turns out he's a zombie because he died at war, and he was a bad guy because he beat his wife, is what is implied.
Was that implied?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, pay attention. Come on. Read between the lines. And so, as that show, now you have this image of a wife beating zombie. Okay? I know. I think he
wife beating zombie.
He beat his wife when he was alive.
He beat his wife when he was alive. But
That doesn't
had
mean
he
wouldn't
the
have,
opportunity to do it as a zombie, he would have definitely done it again.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Probably with more force.
So,
He goes around town killing people who disrespect America. Now, whether that is kids who are lighting the flag on fire, or draft dodgers, or a young teenage girl who smokes pot. They're all bad people.
They're all commies.
Yeah, they're all communists, and he just kills them. And he has super strength. It seems like he got shot like 8 times, and he shrugged it off. But then he got hit with the cannonball, which made him catch on fire.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
No.
It didn't. But luckily, this blind kid,
In a wheelchair.
like, he just was like, I don't even know his whole thing, but he got touched by Uncle Sam. Not sexually, just like emotionally.
I don't know. It kind of had some sexual tension to it.
You think so?
Yeah, he was rubbing his face.
It was pretty soft and sensual and upsetting.
Yeah.
So maybe there was a bit of tension there sexually, but nothing happened as far as we know.
Yeah.
And he just was like, hey, here's the plan. We're going to set him up. We're going to trick him. And so they shot him with a cannonball, and he basically died. But can I say one more thing about it? I forgot to mention the most annoying kid I was talking about. He was the son or the nephew of the woman that got beat by Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And he was the one who kind of carries Uncle Sam's torch at the end, metaphorically.
Yeah.
Because he will do it again. He will represent America over in Kuwait, just like Uncle Sam.
That's great, Sean.
Thank you.
Really good job.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
I will say that ending.
I could do what Zach does.
Yeah, you want to start researching?
Yeah,
I'd love to. I'd love to not have to watch documentaries about movies from 40 years ago.
Zach hands over his hat and glasses.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Actually, that sounded terrible. Never mind.
Dude, you know what's funny? This is how much my old podcast buddies don't believe that I do all this. One of them texted me the other day when I made that post where I said, I really appreciate all the support. I said Ray does a lot of work, doing all the editing and setting up the cameras and everything. I didn't mention Sean at all. And then and then I said, and I do a lot of research, trying to make sure, that we have all these facts available and like make it an interesting show. And no, I said you bring levity or whatever,
spunk.
whatever thing I said to include you. And no, but yeah, one of my friends texted me after, and he goes from that podcast, and he goes, "Stop lying to these people, acting like you're doing research. They just didn't believe me." I'm like, "No, man, I watched a whole documentary on the making of The Burbs," and he's like, "No, you didn't."
No, you did good. You're doing great.
You did great, man. Look how far you've come.
I haven't really come. I mean,
You watched Psycho 3 times.
that's true.
You watched the original twice, once just with me, once with everybody, and then the remake,
Yep.
which is essentially the same
movie.
film with different actors.
Yeah.
Just with Vince Vaughn masturbating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got a little jerky jerk in there.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I just
Episode
wanted to
2.
see it.
Yeah.
Come on, you know you did.
So the end of Uncle Sam, we do got to talk about this part real quick. They for no reason have when they like kind of reveal that the kid is gonna like carry on the Uncle Sam torch. it all like it's glass that breaks is how the thing ends. Like that's it's like an effect or whatever that they had to where like the like I don't even know what the point of why would the screen break into glass?
That was so sick.
There's no explanation. It has no thematic element of glass breaking. Like
it was the editor was like, "This is cool. You want to see this?" And they were like, "Oh, that is cool. You should put that in." And it was like, "Does it match?" And they were like, "Doesn't matter.
You know,
it's cool."
I remember when I discovered effects on my laptop.
You want to see a cross
was just
dissolve?
a preset. They didn't even make it.
Dude, I was in 7th grade. I was like, dude, this is sick. This is so cool.
You know what it felt like? It felt like that friend that you haven't seen since high school, and he's still the same person, and you've like grown and like evolved.
Yeah,
that's the horror version of this. It was like the '80s showed up still on coke. The '80s showed up on coke, and they go up to Scream, and they're like, "What's up, dude? You want to hang out?" And he's like, "No, man, we're over here making like satire. Yeah, we're over here making a classic." And he's like, "Yeah, me too." You want to see this glass break real quick?
Dude, it's 1996.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, Maniac Cop was such a good fucking. It was fun. This one was not, and I feel like it has the same tone. It's the same copy and paste formula, though.
Right.
It's just like instead of a cop, it's Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
He's a soldier, and he comes back to life because he's mad at the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in costume. That was funny when they were like, "Oh, that Uncle Sam." There was a parade going on or something, a party, a barbecue. They're like, that Uncle Sam's he's doing a good job. He's dressed up nice. He's believable. And it's like, he looks creepy as hell.
He looks so creepy.
Yeah, you know how Uncle Sam slowly walks around the perimeter of a parade, slowly waving at people and eyeballing them.
This is literally, he was like moving and he's like, fucking. Go ahead and roll that clip.
You know Uncle Sam caresses.
Is this movement he's doing?
I was fucking looking.
You know how Uncle Sam goes and finds burned kids in wheelchairs and slowly caresses their faces in public?
Shit, man, you're going to grow up to be a good American.
Do you guys remember the dialogue? He goes,
Barely.
"Oh, you let me know, or I'll make them feel your pain." And then he goes, "I'll do whatever you want for them." Like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he's saying this to a child.
Ugh. And the kid doesn't even get it at first. He's very confused. And then for some reason, unexplained, they don't explain why, the kid suddenly knows because he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Which
he starts
is also
gaining wheelchair powers. He's like, by the end of the movie, he's like, they're about to come out of the house now. And then they walk out of the house and you're like, oh, dude, fuck.
It had the 80s feel of like completely misunderstanding anybody with a disability. They're like,
yeah.
He's in a wheelchair, so now he's psychic. You're like, wait, why? What do you mean?
Makes me want to break my own legs so I can gain psychic abilities.
Yeah.
And then his parents just fucking leave him with with Isaac Hayes, who they don't know.
Yeah.
They're like,
thanks. If they do know him, they never establish that I can remember.
No.
And they're just like, yeah, go on with Isaac now. And then he takes the two kids to the body. It's
Oh my God.
Unhinged.
And the best part is when it's Isaac Hayes, the black guy who they told to watch their child and the other kid, and they're in a house with Uncle Sam, and then Isaac Hayes and one of the kids, they just leave the second kid in the house. They shut the door on him.
Yeah. They left him out on the porch.
They get to the house, they're like, we got to go see if the body's in the casket, and then they go. And they close the door on him. And you're like, you couldn't pull him up the 3 steps to get him in the fucking house?
Wait, no, but then even after that, then they reverse it. And then everyone leaves, and they leave that one kid in the house with Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And it's like, what did you think was...
I have a theory for that. I think because when you shoot films, when minors are on set, they can only shoot for a certain amount of time. So I'm fairly certain that what happened was they ran out of time to be able to shoot with those kids. So they had to shoot them separately. Like one of them had more hours that they could shoot or something. And if I had to guess, or simple. I mean, at this point, it's like who knows what the
Yeah, we'll leave you outside because you have to take a 15-minute break every 45 minutes.
Yeah, leave him out there. See if I care. Call his parents. Tell him he's fired. Leave him in his chair. He's like, I can walk. It's in part. Okay. Yeah, so I would say I'm going to say this though. Uncle Sam, worth the watch. Just because it's so weird.
So bad.
It's so weird.
It's so weird and so it like
Fucking
makes
goofy.
Yeah, it's just goofy. Like it makes no sense, and it's not like fun '80s camp or anything like that because it's trying to recapture a time period that's already done. Really,
Yeah, it's bad.
it's bad, but
But
it's fun. And it's also the year before South Park, so Isaac Hayes hadn't taken on the role of chef yet in South Park. So this is they caught him prime time right before he was making good money again, presumably. I would assume Comedy Central was paying him okay.
yeah.
You think he was on that Scientology shit already?
Oh, man, I hope not, because they're supposed to like help you get better like gigs.
Yeah.
Like if Scientology got you hooked up with Uncle Sam, you need to, I don't know, go to the Baptist or something.
Yeah, you need to give him more money.
Yeah. Convert to some other religion that's real. Quotes.
Science rules.
Well, I think we covered that pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were fun watches.
That was productive.
This is our first official regular episode that wasn't a contrast and compare between a remake and a regular.
Yeah. This is kind of just we did 2 movies for just 4th of July.
Yeah, there's a couple of themes.
I hate to walk all over you, but you said what did you say?
Contrast and compare.
Yeah, what is compare and contrast?
I think he's right.
I'm right.
I don't think it.
It's a huge. I'm not gonna lie. We can't progress past this until you correct your mistake.
Yeah, I can't put this out. I can't put this out until
I'm
you
putting my foot down. Actually,
apologize to Sean.
apologize to me and the audience
And to Turner.
All right, well, first of all, he's barely worked this episode. Okay, we're gonna have background noise that sounds like a team of tap dancers.
Okay, excuse me. What
Okay.
if he didn't get the fly?
That's true.
I don't think he did. I think he gave up because you made him come over there so you could,
You're welcome.
threaten him in front of the audience. No animals were harmed in the filming of this, or
Yeah, ever.
producers.
I would never lay a finger on Turner.
Well,
Yeah.
I just stared into the camera evilly.
this will also be our first episode that we haven't ended with Ray talking about drugs.
Yeah, don't.
I can talk about drugs.
No,
at
I
some
know you
point.
can, but we're not gonna.
Because like we were talking about the Purge, and I was like, I'd do drugs.
Oh yeah, you did.
I stand by that.
So we actually
What drug would you do? If you sorry, no.
what? No, don't do this.
Nothing that'd get me hooked on anything.
It'd be nice to monetize this podcast at some point.
You're right. Get
Ooh,
out.
that's not happening.
That's never gonna.
Don't
happen.
do drugs. Seriously, come on, knock it off.
Not through YouTube. Certainly not through Facebook.
Yeah, no. Fuck them. Honestly.
Oh God.
Fast.
So, we have our Patreon. By the time this comes out, our Patreon will be set up. So we'll have our first Patreon episode out, plus the watch through of this. I think both will be out. So check those out. They'll be available for all Patreon subscribers. You can do the watch through of Uncle Sam with us. I don't know if we're going to put the other half of. It seems silly to put half of a watch through.
Yeah, we might not put the watch through of the
see.
Purge.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But the Uncle Sam watch through was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Sean's very horned up.
Dude, I was on.
Yeah.
He's like texting a girl the entire time. Great.
But yeah, the other episode is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, versus the Burbs, Fear Thy Neighbor. So fun episode, fun watches.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah. So check those out if you're on the Patreon. If not, we appreciate your support anyway. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I think it's time to sign off, boys.
Yeah.
On behalf of myself, Zach Bennett, Sean Dolan, Ray Reyes,
Yo.
Turner the producer, and of course Johnny Ash. Happy 4th of July. Don't be a fascist.
Yeah.
Bye.
A man getting bit by an alligator screams.
Swallow this.